Okay, let's unpack this. You're looking up at your roof, thinking 2026 is finally the year you pull the trigger on solar.
Hmm.
But then you open a browser, and suddenly you're just wading through this swamp of fluctuating costs, new acronyms, and from what I'm reading, a deadline that's actually rushing towards us.
It's not just a deadline, it's a financial cliff. I mean, we are looking at a landscape where a typical residential system costs somewhere between, say, 5 and 12,000 pounds.
Right.
But the immediate urgency in the sources is the VAT. Right now, installation is zero rated.
So that's a 20% discount just baked in.
Exactly. But that evaporates in March 2027.
So the clock is genuinely ticking on a huge chunk of savings. But okay, let's say I'm ready to go. This guide says 4 to 8 weeks. That feels like a long time to have people with drills in my house.
Well, that's a really common misconception that the actual physical installation is incredibly
Oh,
fast.
is it?
Yeah, usually done in 1 to 3 days. That 4 to 8 week window is almost entirely administrative. It's the surveys, the design, and the big hurdle, DNO approval.
The DNO. That's the distribution network operator, the people who run the local grid.
That's the one. And this is where the paperwork can get a bit messy. If your system is under 3.68 kilowatts peak, which is standard for a smaller home, you fall under what's called G98 regulations.
And that's the easy one.
That's the fast track, usually sorted in a week, maybe 10 days.
If I want to go bigger, cover every inch of the roof.
Then you trigger G99. And this forces the DNO to do a full technical review. It's not just a delay of, 2 to 8 weeks. It carries a real risk.
What kind of risk?
The DNO can technically refuse the connection or, and this is the worst case scenario, tell you that to connect your system, you have to pay to upgrade the local transformer. That can kill your budget instantly.
Wow. Okay, that is a massive detail to overlook. So, assuming we get the green light, what are we actually bolting to the roof in 2026?
We've seen a real density jump. We're now using 400 to 550 watt monocrystalline panels.
Which means,
It means you can hit a high output, say 4 kW, with just 8 to 10 panels. You don't need to cover every square inch of tiles like we did 5 years ago.
that saves space. But what about the setup? I've always heard that if you have a chimney or a tree, solar is a waste of time because one shaded panel kills the whole system.
That used to be the case with standard string inverters. You can think of them like those old school Christmas tree lights.
Ah, right. If one bulb goes out, the whole string goes dark.
Precisely. A string inverter connects all your panels in a chain, so the weakest panel dictates the performance of the whole array.
So if a pigeon sits on one panel, I lose power from all of them.
Effectively, yes. Which is why the sources are all pushing microinverters for any complex roofs.
Okay, what do they do?
They sit behind each individual panel. It costs a bit more, about 100 to 200 pounds extra per panel, but it makes every single panel an independent island. If one gets shaded, the rest keep pumping out at 100%.
Okay, that redundancy makes a lot of sense. But the biggest line item here is the battery. I mean, 4 to 8,000 pounds is a lot of money. Is the technology actually durable enough to justify that?
This is where the chemistry really matters. The industry has pretty much shifted wholesale to lithium iron phosphate, or LiFePO4.
And that's not just chemical trivia.
No, not at all. These units are rated for up to 10,000 cycles.
And in plain English, that means what?
It means the battery won't die before it pays for itself. In the past, batteries degraded so fast they were the weak link. Now they last long enough to support a proper smart tariff strategy.
I see this term smart tariff everywhere. Is it just marketing or is there real money in it?
Oh, it turns your home into a kind of micro trader. You charge that battery at 2 a.m. when energy is dirt cheap, maybe around 7.5p.
Right.
Then, when everyone else is boiling kettles at 6 p.m. and prices spike, you run your house off the battery. Or, even better, you export back to the grid.
But to get paid for that export, I need specific paperwork, right? I can't just send power back and expect a check in the post.
You absolutely need an MCS or a FlexiOrb certificate. Without one of those, you cannot access the Smart Export Guarantee, or SAG.
And that's the scheme that pays you.
It is. And you have to shop around for it, too. Some companies pay peanuts, maybe 4p per unit. But if you switch to the right provider, you can get over 24p.
So don't just auto-renew. That's good to know. Before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something we skipped over. The hidden timeline, the scaffolding.
Ah, yes. This is a really interesting nuance.
The guide says sometimes the installers leave, but the scaffolding stays up for another 2 weeks. My first instinct would be to call them and complain.
You might want to hold off on that call. We call this the scaffolding test. A really conscientious installer often leaves the scaffolding up for 5 to 14 days after the work is done.
Why? Just to annoy the neighbors.
To give themselves a buffer. If there are any teething issues, a loose connection, a microinverter that's acting up, they can get straight back up there and fix it immediately.
Whereas if they take it down,
If they take it down the second they finish just to save on rental costs, and then something breaks, you're stuck waiting for them to book it all in again.
that is such a simple, clever way to vet a company. Just ask them, when does the scaffolding come down?
Exactly. If they say immediately, maybe think twice. It's the ultimate sign of whether they prioritize their own margins or your system's reliability.
A huge thanks for walking us through the grid this week. Hopefully that helps clear up some of the confusion.
My pleasure.
Catch you on the next deep dive.